And there we have our output. You see this image into this image, just like that. And you can deploy this, run it with an API. Hey guys, for this video, we will be deploying our ComfyUI workflow on Replicate. So you can use your workflow via API, you can build apps out of it, you can run kiosk, and you can do a bunch of stuffs after you have deployed your ComfyUI workflow on the cloud. So let's get started. I have linked a Notion document which you can find it in the description. Just open that, and for deployment, you can use any system. I would prefer Lightning AI or Jarvis Labs. They give you much more control. Lightning AI also gives you $15 credit per month. Start with the Scratch Studio. It should have PyTorch installed. You can start with PyTorch. It's also available on Jarvis Labs. So here I'm just starting my studio. Let's set it up. You can either use Jupyter Notebook, but I would prefer VS Code. VS Code, it's really helpful for one particular reason. You basically can see the hidden files. Now let's open our terminal. Let's go to the first block. Let's uninstall any Docker. Okay, allow. I don't know why it showed up. It didn't show it up earlier, but yeah. Then update package index. When you paste over here, paste with Control-Shift-V. That's how Linux system works. So all the cloud GPUs have Linux system running on top of them. Most of it, not all of them. Let's install the required packages. Let's bump this up here. We need more real estate over there, and I just do the installation. Basically install Docker. I'll do this really quick. So when you do sudo apt get update the second time, you should see download Docker over here. Once you're done with Docker, you can verify the installation by running this command, and it should say hello from Docker, and then you're good to go. When you're deploying your Docker image, you might run into some errors, and the most common error is something that I've pointed out over here. Now let's install Cog. We are done with Cog. We are done with Docker installation. We are done with Cog installation. Now let's get started with our setup. Now let's clone our repo. This repo is by FOFR. Super thankful to them. And yeah, now we have our entire Cog ComfyUI clone. Now we have to run a prepare template.py. So let's go into the Cog ComfyUI folder and then run this. And we are done. Then if you want to check is there anything done, you can run this command get status, and something like this should show up that these many files have been deleted and these many files have been modified. Now over there, let's just clone ComfyUI 2. I like to do it this way. I like to clone the ComfyUI as well. Now we are good with it. Now in Cog ComfyUI folder, we have to add our workflow JSON files. You can just drag and drop the workflow onto the screen, and you have your workflow right over here. Let's open predict.py and also our workflow _API.json. When you scroll down to line number 55, you see this is an example, right? Where you're converting your input points in the workflow into a variable. So you can uncomment this, and just for one example, I'll show you. This is the load number. This is the input. For example, let's work on one prompt, the positive prompt. It's actually the same number, 6. So 6 is fine. Then within 6, we are going into inputs, and within inputs, we are going into text. So text is where we change stuff. So in 6, we went into inputs, and in inputs, we went into text. Now we are defining this text as keyword argument prompt. So later down the line, if you're using it within the API or stuff, prompt is the variable. which will modify the positive prompt, right? Now, in case if you want to use the negative prompt, it is 7. Over here, it's 7 text. And if you want to add any word over here, you can do something similar on top as well. Like, for example, professional photography or something like that. That's how you can add your base prompt, which will be same for each and every generation. Similarly, you can go for seeds and image as well. For image, you have to find the node load image. Here is the node load image, and it says 11. This 11 inputs image, and I'll give it as an argument of image. If you want to go deep into predict.py, there are a bunch of repositories by FOFR, example repositories. You can see how the predict.py is set up. Also, you can prompt ChatGPT. Now we can do something similar for all the input points that we have. So here I have updated my workflow with the input points. That is positive prompt, negative prompt, IC prompt, load image, SAM, and with the SAM prompt, that is the product prompt. For example, it was ring. And over here in self-update workflow, you have to add your more inputs. Image file name is being handled over here. Here you have to add only 2 prompts, that is IC prompt and product. IC prompt equals to IC prompt, comma, and duct prompt equals to product prompt, comma, and there we have it set. Now we have to update the description and stuff over here, like where you would add the inputs. I would say this is IC and this is product. Just verifying again that we have IC and product, and that's right. Just for description, thing prompt, product prompt, what is the product in the image? In one word, 1, 2, IC, image, and I hope we are done with predict.py. We end with predict.py. If you want to see many examples, you can go over here. For example, how to handle video inputs, you can do that. How to handle audio inputs. There are a bunch of things. You can just copy this and add it to ChatGPT. Even it will give out a good output. Now let's move on to custom nodes. Over here, you will go through all the custom nodes that we have used. I know that we have used James Walker's ComfyUI various for the image resize, and this is something that you have to take note while developing the workflow as well. Then we used ComfyUI Essentials for creating a mask from an image. And over here, you have to see the commit number as well. For that, you can just copy this, open a new tab, go over there, and you will find the commit number over here. So that's fine. In Essentials, let's just see if that's fine. I hope we can update that. Okay, we can update it. Let's copy that and paste it over here. We also have downloaded IC Lite, and you can basically paste it over here. You can also add nodes if you want. Copy this really quick. Paste it over here. Actually, remove the nodes. That's it. IC Lite. Also, we have used KJ nodes. So we'll copy that. Paste it over here. And we copy. Done. We are done with our custom nodes. And rest all is something that you guys can delete. We have our 4 custom nodes. That is great. Now, based on each and every custom node, for example, KJ has its own requirements.txt as well as ComfyUI Essentials. It's right over here, requirements.txt. And then IC Lite has its own requirements.txt. Once we have these requirements.txt open, just go to conf.yml, just open that, and over here you will see bunch of Python packages. For example, this is for vast node suits, and if you don't need, you can erase that, and that's what I have done. ComfyUI Essentials number, it's already there, but these 4 are not mentioned over there. Just make sure they are there somewhere in the list. And I guess they are not there. If they are not there, just add them to be on the safe side. Done. We are done with that. My bad, guys. We missed something, that is segment intent. We have to add that custom node as well. So right over here, just copy this. This is the stuff that we have, and paste it over here, and copy this, paste it over here. Getting back to in backpack, and yep, there we go. You have ComfyUI segment anything. Let's add these also. Let's also please. I'll do this really quick. Now over here for IC Lite, I already had OpenCV Python in KJ node, so I really didn't name that. So just for an example, I have written it down over here, but you don't need that. Let's delete CV. I guess we can have train.py, and making sure we have all the custom nodes and got the YAML files ready. That's great. Now we are done with that. Now we can run this script in our terminal, just so that in ComfyUI, in custom nodes, we don't have anymore. There was a mistake in the custom nodes folder. Now we will run this script in our terminal, and we'll install all our custom nodes. Now that has basically cloned all our custom nodes that we wanted, and we can have a look over here. Custom nodes, essential, segment anything, IC Lite, KJ nodes, ComfyUI various, and let's see. Oh yeah, they are installed perfectly fine, and that is great. Now let's move on to adding your own models. Let's go back to Comfy. Over here, if you see this particular JSON file, weights.json, has a bunch of checkpoints. It's highly likely that you will find your checkpoints over here. For example, we have this file that we are using, this weight that we are using in our workflow, right? So that way it's really nice. Just in case if you want to do it by yourself, for example, we have this B11 pen ultimate. We don't have it over here. We have lightning 46 steps. So for that, what you have to do is basically go into your models, checkpoints, and over here, you can basically navigate using CD, ComfyUI, CD models with an S. Then you can go into see checkpoints, right? Once you're there, you can download your models over there. Just to say, let's go for wget. I want to download this particular new model. I have copied the link address, copy link address, capital O to rename it to whatever you want. But over here, authentication will be failed. For that, what I recommend is add a question mark, token equals to, and your Civit AI auth token. For that, head into your account settings, then go down to API key, add API key. Just say, I would say YouTube test. I will save it, and I'll copy it and just paste it over here. And that's it. There was some error. Yeah. So I had to add %. So instead, okay, right over here, you see this, I had added question mark. Instead of that, add %, and then token equals to, and you get it right. And I let this model download. We have the name over here. Until then, we'll copy this name. I'll copy the name and paste it over here. Comma, and there you have it. You have added your weight into the ComfyUI folder, right? You can download the weight from Civit AI, Hugging Face, wget the URL, go and rename it to what you want. Add the name over here, as well as if you know that this name is not same as over here, so we'll replace that too over here. So we have V150 Maximus FT32. Great, you have added it over here. But that's not it. If you go down, you see you have to enter the .docker ignored file as well, and that's where VS Code plays a role. Like just open this .docker ignore, which are the hidden files. Go to models, and as you see, we have .safe tensor, right? So we'll just do comment out our safe tensor, or I really like to just remove that. And also you go to ComfyUI models, you also have to remove that. Great, we are done with that, and we are good to deploy our models onto replicate. Also, we added that to weights.json. We'll just quickly check, I'll just quickly check all our models are present in weights.json that we are using over here. Yes, we have that. You see control net, there's all sort of things. SAM is also there. We are using this one with edge. Grounding liner is also there. So we have that as well. So we have our checkpoints on weights.json, but we also have seen how to add our own custom models, and that's it. Now, basically in Lightning AI, what I would like to do, I'm adding this particular image. It's not that great image, but let's add this image. We'll just add this image for our test run. Now in Lightning AI, I have been using the RAM version, so I can quickly switch to GPU. I would like to, so these are the costs. I guess I'm good with 810G. It gives me good enough 24 gigabytes of GPU memory. I'll go for 810G, and I've selected that, and I'll confirm it. Now I could wait for this. Once this is done, I will have access to the terminal, and we are good. I have to go for ComfyUI, and then I will do cog init. Let's install cog again and see if that's working fine. Great. Now we already had, it's working fine. It should say found an existing cog.yml. That's great. Now we can just do a predict function on top of it. I don't know, for some reason, I guess because I switched, it kind of changed the thing. Now here I can add multiple things. First, I'll copy the path of my image. Copy paths, and I'll be have it as it is. Great, I guess there was some problem with the keyword that I had input. But yeah, now your cog has started to build. Meanwhile, as it is being built, I would like you to go to this link. Just name your model. I'll name it user tutorial, and the hardware can be E40 or E4 is also fine. Custom model and create. You're good with that. If you have done everything right until now, everything will run smoothly and you will get an output over here. Okay, now our setup is done. We will download the models, and we have encountered our first problem. Yeah. Now you see what was the error over here is that in my workflow, I had made a mistake. My IC Lite model path was having the folder as well. So I'll remove that because that's an issue, and I'll go back and I'll just search over here IC Lite, and it's over here, and we are using FC. So that's something to check, and yeah, we have that. So we have updated this. Control S, I'll just save it for, and I will pull that again, and yeah, it started downloading the isolate folder again. Now it's working totally fine. Control and LoRa is also there. Got it. Now we run into another error. Let's see, running prediction. There was some issue in the predict.py where image file was not handled really well. So I've just updated the handle input file with my own function, which should do the job. And yeah, that's it. Now let's save this predict.py function and let's go for another run. It's running the workflow. Okay, now my model is almost working totally fine. The output is generated because of a known error. Whenever you, this is just an insight, I get broken by error sometimes, but it's totally fine. It works on replicate. Now let's deploy this on replicate. Just go to replicate.com/auth/token. You will have a token over here. It's blurred out over here, but just copy that, paste it over here, Control-Shift-V. There won't be any change on the terminal. Just hit enter and it says you have successfully logged in. Now go back to the model that you created on Replicate. Copy this file, paste it over here, and let it do its magic. Now let's talk about the broken pipe error. This error is actually related to the JW nodes. If I use this nodes, I run into that broken pipe error, like the image that's being fed to that particular step, that particular node, and when it's being used somewhere else, it does that in the local environment, but on Replicate it works totally fine. If you see, the file is loaded, Gmix is also loaded really well, so there's no error over there. All the files on the virtual buffer loaded really well. So just to avoid, you can avoid certain nodes that create conflict as well. I just speed up this process. It started pushing stuff, and there we have it, folks. It's getting pushed to Replicate. Okay, so we are done with the model. It's being uploaded on So I've just added the image, prompt. I see prompt, I guess I'll just keep it as sunlight. 95, that's fine. Random by default, let's boot and run. So our model is starting. We just uploaded this model. It's starting. I like to open the logs and have a look. And once you have the model, you can just run it with an API. You can just launch this and run it with an API. I know this image isn't that great, but just for trial purpose, testing it out. It will take some time for the initial generation. Once we are done with this thing, I'll just say goodbye to my lovely Lightning AI Studio. I'll say Swing, and it was. Also, I realized if it's T4 and it's the first generation, it takes a lot of time. Okay, so our model is running, and as you can see, the logs, it has started to produce some images, and now it's applying the IC light. And there we have our output. You see this image into this image, just like that. And you can deploy this, run it with an API. Here's your output. I hope you guys liked the video. It was full start to finish. The creation of the workflow was done in the previous video. Then the entire deployment was done. So we at Nexi help our client with Replicate deployments, which they can implement at their kiosks, which they can implement at their app, their mobile app, marketing campaigns, and other stuff as well. So Replicate deployment is a crucial part. I hope you learned a lot from this video. That's it from me. Bye.